as we talk about the autoimmune matrix. And if you know someone or you suspect that yourself you have an autoimmune disease, I am here tonight to let you know that you are not alone and that there is hope. And this will be recorded and provided as a replay tomorrow morning so that everyone can go over all of the information that I'll be talking about tonight. So for those of you that don't know me, I am Tiffany Roberts, the wife of Dr. Gabe Roberts. He and I are both founders of Back to Nature Lifestyle Medicine, and we truly want to serve our community as a coach in functional and lifestyle medicine. My husband is a best practitioner, and that's bioenergetic synchronization technique. And we're both experts on digestive health, immune health, clinical nutrition, addressing chronic diseases through our membership program. And our program has successfully helped patients who suffer from diabetes, thyroid disease, IBS, chronic pain, and many other diseases such as autoimmune issues. And we truly strive to educate the community and our patients by giving them the truth about your health. So let's dive in. So imagine health expressed as a triangle. I just wanted to say, hey, Sarah Munkers, glad to see you on there. Okay, so again, imagine health expressed as a triangle. At the base is your genes, all 23,000 of them. Each of these are inherited by your parents and are present your whole life. However, they are not necessarily noticed until some other factor activates them. The genes can be turned on or off, much like a light switch, but what we can visualize at the points of these triangles are the chemical self, the physical self, and the mental self. This will make more sense as we discuss these components for our health further. But know that as a functional medicine doctor, we view the whole triangle in its entirety, not just one. Okay, we're going to dive more into that. Hi, Kelsey. Okay. So the autoimmune matrix. This triangle of health represents components of the autoimmune matrix. Okay. It is understood that autoimmune diseases are caused by chemical, physical, or mental influences turning on certain genes. In other words, autoimmunity is bred by lifestyle choices and behavior. It is also important to note that each of these elements can interact with one another. For example, if we are not tending to our physical self, our chemical self reacts and vice versa. Fortunately, this means that they can also be addressed in the same way. Our influences, chemically, physically, and mentally, can determine our health by either compromise or optimize. While that may seem scary, it is equally empowering and can instill a lot of hope in those suffering with autoimmune conditions. And that's what I'm here to do, is try to give you some hope. So most conventional doctors today will solely focus on chemical components using medication. There are endless ways to influence the body using the standard of care, such as artificially influencing or manipulating inflammation, vital hormones, and many other essential chemical processes within the body. This is all done with one common goal: covering up the symptoms. Okay? On the other hand, functional medicine doctors address the origin of the disease to ensure comprehensive and effective treatment. Covering up the symptoms should never be considered or diagnosed as a cure. That's what sets us apart. So functional medicine is centered around the patient versus the disease. Practitioners see health problems as a reaction to dysfunctions within the body rather than an isolated issue. This approach is truly revolutionizing the medical field by empowering patients to better understand imbalances in their bodies, how these imbalances affect their health, and the solutions available to support the normal healing mechanisms within their body. When this is applied to autoimmune complications, people are astonished by the improvement in their health, if not a complete recovery. The chemical components of health will be a large majority of what we discuss throughout this presentation, but for good reason, okay? In short, chemistry in this sense refers to anything that enters the body, and this can refer to food, vitamins, mineral, water, pesticides, preservatives, dyes, and much more. Other environmental factors that may have less control of, but nonetheless still control over exposure include bacteria, parasites, toxins, and other microorganisms. The common theme throughout the triangle of health is your control. Your chemical self is influenced by what you choose. You can enter your body, and in turn, the chemical influences on your gene activation. So up next, we'll be explaining common chemical or nutrition deficiencies. In the words of Dr. Osborne, the importance of nutrition can't be argued. It's absolutely critical. Essential nutrients found in food, such as vitamins, minerals, amino acids, carbohydrates, and fats, are necessary for the proper functioning of our body. Each have their own job, and everyone's needs are specific to their own unique health. So for one thing to consider is the why behind these deficiencies. It may be due to not consuming enough foods that contain them. It could be impaired gut function or the result of an existing autoimmune issue. The most common nutrient deficiencies seen in practice include, but are not limited to, vitamin D, B12, zinc, omega-3 fatty acids, and believe it or not, water. Unfortunately, the commonplace procedure of measuring these levels of serum testing. Serum testing can be incredibly limiting as they do not take into account the fluctuations of vitamin content throughout the day or around meals. That being said, serum lab testing is not a good indicator of the storage of nutrients, the sustained nutrient levels, or the adequate deficiencies after digestion. This is important conversation to have with your doctor if that is the only testing that you are offered. So later in this presentation, we will be viewing other recommended testing procedures, but first let's take a closer look at some of these deficiencies that I was talking about. Vitamin D, the most immune cells have specific vitamin D receptors which help modulate immune activity in response. If I could really do a thesis paper on this, and I just might, it would be over vitamin D because it's so vital and so important. It is no surprise that clear connections have been found between autoimmune diseases and this deficiency. A few of the most prominent include type 1 diabetes, rheumatoid arthritis, and multiple sclerosis. Some common foods that are high in vitamin D include wild-caught salmon, tuna, eggs, mushrooms, and fortified cereals. The most abundant source of vitamin D, however, is from your direct sunlight. Yet we are always advised to limit our time in the sun and wear UV blocking protectants. However, vitamin D is immunomodulator. otherwise known as an aid in proper immune system function. This, in turn, helps to prevent autoimmune disorders. This doesn't add up, does it? So why would they tell you to limit this when we have an increase in autoimmune diseases? Medications and deficiencies. So common medications used to treat autoimmune diseases can actually cause vitamin and mineral deficiencies and in turn hinder the immune system. You can see how this is truly counterproductive, right? I hope so. You deserve to know that if medicine that you've been prescribed causes deficiencies, and if so, you also deserve to be given the opportunity to have supplementation. For your reference, consider the following general information. For common blood pressure medication, the following deficiencies may occur. Vitamins B1, B6, and C, magnesium, calcium, potassium, zinc, sodium, CoQ10, and melatonin. For common cholesterol medication, the following deficiencies may occur. Vitamins A, B2, B6, B12, D, E, K, folate, beta-carotene, iron, and CoQ10. For common diabetes medications, the following deficiencies may occur. Vitamins B12, folic acid, and CoQ10. For common anti-inflammatory medications, the following deficiencies may occur. Vitamins A, C, D, B12, folic acid, potassium, iron, magnesium, and zinc. For common heartburn medications, the following deficiencies may occur. Vitamins D, B12, folic acid, beta-carotene, calcium, iron, and zinc. For hormone replacement medications, these deficiencies can occur. B2, B, the general B, B6, B12, C, folic acid, magnesium, zinc, and selenium. Please note that these do not go for all of these medications, but these are a general guideline. Above all, it is always most important to have the proper testing to ensure that you're treating your unique needs. So we are exposed to toxins on a regular basis, and many are often unavoidable. These include, but are not limited to, pesticides, GMOs, air pollutants, heavy metals, chemical contaminants. So toxins can be the cause of many health complications such as fatigue, muscle aches, joint pain, sinus congestion, postnasal drip, headaches, bloating, and yes, autoimmunity. I don't know, my patients on here tonight know how much we talk about getting rid of the chemicals in your home. If you don't know how to do that, please contact me. I will help you. It's so important. To reduce and prevent this toxic overload, there are many ways to minimize exposure, such as organic, non-GMO foods. Get an air purification in your home. Water filters, reverse osmosis is the best. And having toxic-free household items. Again, if you don't know any of those, please contact me. I'll help you. So luckily, there are ways to monitor your nutrient deficiencies, your toxic buildup, and your bodily imbalances. Consider these tests when working with your functional medicine doctor, as they are designed to assess your individual nutritional status. Lymphocyte proliferation. This test for nutrient storage versus what is simply found in the blood and serum. This is a more concrete measure in the sense that it does not change as frequently as other results of other tests do. Iodine loading test. This measures your iodine status and possible deficiencies. 25-OHD. All of our patients go through this, by the way. The test is effective in measuring vitamin D, okay? Your iron panel with ferritin. The important part here is the ferritin. Be sure to request this, as most doctors do not make this their initial avenue in iron testing. All of our patients, that is a staple. You guys have been tested. CBC, this is also known as the complete blood count. This is the most comprehensive blood test for assessing anemia and functioning of many systems in your body. Hemoglobin A1C detects your average blood sugar, your C-reactive protein. This is an identifiable marker for inflammation and other things. Insulin affects the body in a number of ways, but above all, this test measures the amount of stress on the pancreas based on the amount of sugar found in the bloodstream. So in order to properly diagnose nutrient deficiencies or most health complications in general, it is important to rule out any issues associated with your gut. And you all know that we start there. If your gut is not functioning properly, it is unlikely that your body will be able to absorb any of these proper nutrients. Therefore, eating the right foods or taking the right supplements will go unnoticed, and you may become frustrated with the lack of improvement because you're just wasting your money. Some of the major functions of the gut include digestion, immune response, nutrient absorption. Did you know that most of your vitamin B nutrition is absorbed in your gut? Hormone regulation, vitamin production, detoxification, and mood management. Above all, the gut's sole purpose is to ensure that you are absorbing the good and excreting the bad. If this balance is disrupted, major health complications occur. There are 10 times the amount of bacteria in your body than our own cells. Of the majority of them are housed within the digestive system. That being said, gut health is truly the gateway to health for a number of reasons. Fortunately, our gut has defenses or firewalls that help it properly do its job. And these include gastro-associated lymphoid tissue, otherwise known as GOLT. This is the gut's immune system, and in fact, 70% of the entire immune system. 70%. It has tight junctions, and these are small proteins that are responsible for holding the gut cells together. Mucosal IgA, it is otherwise known as immunoglobulin A, and is the antibody considered our first line of defense against toxins. It has friendly bacteria. So as we mentioned, we have more bacteria in our bodies than we do our own cells. The bacteria can communicate with the GOLT, warning it of potential danger. Stomach acid. This is absolutely essential for the digestion and absorption of nutrients. How many times do we tell you guys? Stomach acid, you need it. All of these barriers together combine to promote a healthy gut and in turn a healthy immunity. So these components have been proven to significantly damage the gut. The standard American diet. Chemicals such as pesticides, preservatives, heavy metals, food dyes, GMOs, glyphosate, and microbial transglutamase. Infections such as bacteria, viral parasites, and yeast overgrowth. Gluten and other grains, food allergies, excessive medications, aggressive exercise, and chronic stress. For those people that are doing CrossFit, that is way too aggressive. The body cannot handle that. That's too much inflammation. There are some of the main proponents for the cause of leaky gut syndrome, a harmful condition that causes a plethora of health complications. So leaky gut is when the tight junctions between the intestinal cells begin to open up due to the proteins breaking down from agitation. When this happens, bacteria, chemicals, and toxins have the ability to leak outside of the digestive tract and eventually enter the bloodstream. This is not supposed to happen. This signals the flood of immune antibodies and an increase in allergic reactions. This cycle continues to ultimately lead to autoimmune disease. So if you eat foods and then you suddenly become allergic to it, so you stop eating that and you eat something else and now you're allergic to that, you have leaky gut and you're probably on your way, if not there already, to autoimmune disease. It's important to know that what is specifically irritating your gut. So up next, we will be going more in detail on some of the culprits. If you are on medication, it is crucial to be aware of your potential risks. Some include antibiotics can destroy the good bacteria needed for digestion and can cripple vitamin synthesis and increase your risk in yeast overgrowth. Common pain medication can be found to erode the mucosal lining of the stomach and small intestines, which contributes to intestinal permeability. Acid reflux medications block stomach acid production. In turn, this hinders digestion and absorption, often leading to nutrient deficiencies. And antidepressants negatively affect the neurotransmitters in your gut. Gluten was the first medically proven cause of autoimmunity in 1952 by Dr. Willem Dick. Since then, plenty of research has backed this up. Gluten allergies and sensitivity have been increasingly becoming more common. However, recent research has been implying that gluten can even cause adverse health effects in people that don't have these conditions. Why is this? Well, gluten produces a protein called zonulin. This zonulin directly affects the lining of the intestinal lining. Hello, leaky gut. The antibodies that are initially produced to attack the gliadin, one of the gluten's building block, leaches out of the GI tract and into the bloodstream. The body reacts by secreting inflammatory chemicals as a defense mechanism. However, the body becomes unable to differentiate between gluten or the invader and the body's healthy tissue. This is what we call the start of autoimmunity. Some of the most commonly ignored allergies include food allergies, medication allergies, surgical allergies, chemical allergies, mold allergies, and allergies in the addictive of any of the above. All untreated allergies can cause serious health complications, including autoimmune disease. Fortunately, there are many ways that we can test allergies, including skin test, blood test, lung function test, patch testing, and food challenges, often in the form of an elimination diet. So common heavy metals and elements include lead, mercury, cadmium, arsenic, fluoride, if you're drinking tap water, stop it, bromine, and chlorine. There are all incredibly dangerous to your health and your immunity. Unfortunately, we are exposed to all of these in the air that we breathe, the water we drink, and even the food that we eat. The most alarming way toxic metals affect our health is by competing with beneficial minerals for binding sites. This leads to deficiencies regardless of our daily intake. Your exposure of many of these toxins are often gradual, and therefore the accumulation can be left unnoticed for an extended period of time. So it doesn't have to be an immediate exposure, it could be over time. Fluoride consumption has become an increasingly more prominent issue. It is often put in public water and encouraged in our dental routines. Yet, research suggests that this mass exposure can contribute to autoimmune thyroid disease, brain damage, and the displacement of iodine. Interesting. Note that iodine is especially important for thyroid functioning and the production of T4 and the thyroid hormone thyroxine. Inhibiting the production and maintenance of essential thyroid hormones are truly dangerous and disabling consequences. If the thyroid does not operate properly, many health complications can occur, such as adrenal dysfunction, fatigue, depression, weight gain, muscle aches, brain fog, low libido, and you guessed it, autoimmunity. So our health is truly a combination of the things that we put into our body. Between the quality of food we eat, our exposures to toxins, and our body's ability to detoxify effectively, our chemical makeup is directly affected. Work with your functional medicine doctor to ensure that you're receiving the proper testing, a comprehensive healing strategy, and the support that you deserve to take control of your chemical health, which is what we try to do for you guys. We want to empower you guys. The physical component of health is a bit more straightforward, as it is something that we confront every day. It encompasses our physical activity, the integrity of our muscles, and quite literally our body mechanics. This is a common misconception that as we age, our health naturally declines. We hear it all the time from doctors that aging process is basically synonymous with our bodies breaking down and becoming sick. However, this is very wrong. Instead, our choices are what facilitate this breakdown. As we age, we begin to exercise less. This is not due to be unable to exercise. It is a choice that we make as we get busy, and it just justified to be not as active, right? The secondary lifestyle breeds a dangerous cycle of health issues, including muscle atrophy. Muscle atrophy increases joint pressure, decreases flexibility, and escalates pain. Pain then causes us to continue not exercising, which leads to more muscle loss and further joint restriction and pain. Guess what the solution is? Get moving. Finding an exercise routine that feels right for you is the most important health decision that you can make. If you are currently in pain, however, you must start slow and work with a professional to guide you through a routine that will not make your complications worse. We generally like to say, just go on an evening walk. Walking is the best exercise. So in order to introduce physical fitness into your life, remember these steps. Start where you are. Make small changes. Determine individualized goals. Create a routine. Do not give up if you do not see immediate results, and because health takes time. Some ideas to get moving include bike instead of driving, schedule in a post-dinner walk, dance around when you're doing housework, take on more activities such as hobbies, always take the stairs, and park further away in the parking lots. Simple as that. These simple things can increase your ability to exercise. The emotional component to self is the most often ignored, yet it is just as important as the rest of the triangle. You are what you think, so remember that. If you do not believe that you can recover, it is likely that you will become your reality. On the other hand, if you are hopeful and positive, your ability to overcome health complication increases substantially. Your mind is very powerful. Feed your passions. Spend time with the people that you love. Find things that make you feel relaxed. Manage your stress, and the most important of all, don't forget to love yourself throughout your healing process. This is so important. Being in a chronic state of stress truly breeds disease, especially autoimmunity and inflammation. Everyone manages their stress differently, but to add a little relief to your life, try these simple things. Implement deep breathing. Have fun exercising. Practice yoga. Get a massage. Create a meditation practice. If you need help, we have an online course for that. Make art. Spend time with loved ones. The list can go on and on. First and foremost, get the proper testing done to identify your body's unique needs and treat accordingly. Luckily, there are other things that you can do to amplify your health right now. Here are some things, these additional steps that you can take to win the fight against autoimmune complications and take control of your health. Try intermittent fasting. Gabe and I do that every single day. Cut out all grains, dairy, legumes, nightshades, and processed foods. Change your diet to only contain easy to digest whole foods. Administer an elimination diet. Stay adequately hydrated. Make sure that you eat enough fiber. Take a quality probiotic, and if you don't, we have one in the office that you can get. Supplement with a digestive enzyme. Avoid unnecessary antibiotics. Detoxify regularly. We often recommend that our patients go through a whole cleanse once a year, just to be sure. Practice your deep breathing exercise. Adopt a good hygiene practice. Exercise regularly. Connect with others. Be sure to sleep enough. Rest when you need, because when you rest, your body is healing. Find a hobby that you love. And lastly, do what makes you feel happy and healthy. So thank you for taking time tonight to experience the Autoimmune Matrix. Our last piece of advice is do not pick and choose throughout this process. This is where most people fail. This must be done all at once to truly experience productive, holistic healing. Also, remember, there's no perfect approach for everyone. Every single person is unique. So get properly tested and listen to your body. And if you have any further questions, please don't hesitate to contact us at backtonaturelm@gmail.com or go to our website at functionalmedicinekc.com, because we are truly here to support you.